Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Ro from the Onboarding and Customer Education team here at Knack, and I'll be your host for today's quarterly product webinar. I'm joined today by Kara from our product team and John, our head of product. Together, we'll be walking you through some exciting updates for Q3 2025, including new features, enhancements, and a quick look at what's next on our roadmap. We'll spend about 30 minutes covering key topics like next-gen apps, custom JS, pivot tables, flows for HIPAA customers, and our AI builder. Then we'll open the floor for live Q&A, so drop your questions in the Q&A section as we go. To start things off, Kara will share some exciting updates with next-gen apps and system fields. Then I will be covering two powerful features, custom JavaScript and pivot tables. And then John will cover flows for HIPAA and our new AI builder feature. All right, with that said, Kara, passing us over to you.
So hello everyone, and thanks for joining Ro and I today. Excited to share some important updates about next-gen Knack and how some of these changes are going to improve your experience when you're building and managing your apps. So today I'll be covering three topics: the rollout of next-gen to all classic users, how to toggle between these experiences, both from the dashboard and from inside the app, and a couple of what I think are pretty exciting features coming up that you'll want to know about. So first of all, about 2 weeks ago, we enabled Next Gen for all Classic users. So if you've been using Classic, maybe it's been for last year, maybe it's been for 10 years, you now have access to the new Next interface without needing to do anything special or sending in a request to support. It's been a gradual rollout over the past few months. And so we're pretty excited that everyone now has access to Next Gen and can take a look at the interface and the workflows and kind of get used to it. So we've tried to design this transition to be as seamless as possible. You're not being switched or be placed in one version or the other. We want to give you the flexibility to choose which experience works best for you as you get used to the new interface. So how do you actually switch between Next Gen and Classic? Well, when you log into your Knack dashboard, you'll see this new toggle switch. The default, if you haven't changed it, should be on Classic. And this allows you to set your default experience, whether you want to land in Classic or Next Gen when you open your apps. And so that applies for, the builder, the live app. It'll just open in one experience or another, so you don't have to worry about it. So I'm just going to switch mine to Next Gen. That's all you have to do. And so you can change this at any time. You can switch back and forth, and also you can switch between the versions between the apps. So hopefully this update with this toggle speeds up your workflow a little bit. So again, the choice is yours. So you can switch back and forth, or you can just keep it on Classic or Next Gen. So let's actually get into Construction Tracker. So the first thing we have to do in order to ship a couple of these new features is update our time zones. So we will be able to show all of our users what time zone they're in. If you create, say, an equation and it's showing up as 11:53 a.m. For that user, and so that user's, let's say, on the West Coast like me, and John Karras, who's on the East Coast, looks at that equation, it'll show up in his time zone at 2:53. So, like, kind of as you're working through the app, you'll be in your own time zone, and you don't have to worry about, if I'm creating this appointment, what time zone is it going to show up for my end user. So it'll just work in the builder and in the live app. So it's a kind of foundational feature that's been pretty confusing and hard to explain in the past. And we're working hard to get it in your hands, because what that enables is what I'm about to show you here with system fields. So the first version of system fields will include 3 fields, which are record ID, created on, and updated on. And those are date time fields. And that will be, for our first version, applicable to new apps only. And then after we release this for new apps, we'll go back and do the work to make these fields available for existing apps. So you might be thinking, well, I already have record ID. I have access to that information in a roundabout way or through the API. So what we're changing is like how you get it much more easily. So all you have to do is go to a table and I'm going to enable this, and just remember it'll come out for you in a couple more weeks, though this is not fully feature complete yet. So I went up to my project settings, and I have this new toggle that's show or hide system fields. And so here for my record, I've got the record ID. I've got the date and time it was created on, and that's in my time zone. Again, if somebody on the East Coast or in the UK looks at it, they're going to see this created on in their own time zone. And if it was updated in the last date and time, it was updated. So this will be nice. You'll be able to filter and sort by these records or these new fields. You'll be able to use them in basically whatever workflow you want, formulas, integrations. So this will pave the way for some other system fields down the line, like created by, updated by, and even owned by. So this is about building a more robust and professional grade platform that scales with the needs that you've been asking for a couple years. So I think the next question you're going to ask is, how do I get early access to this? That's a great question. I'll send out a form at the end of this webinar. Again, some of these things we're still working out a couple little kinks here and there, so it'll be a week or two. And if you fill out the form, we will enable it as soon as we can. So it's a really great opportunity to influence, the direction of these features and how they will impact you as you build and manage your apps going forward. And I will turn it back over to Ro. Thank you.
Thanks, Kara. Now let's talk about one of the most flexible updates in Next-Gen, custom JavaScript. For most builders, Knack visual tools are all you need, but if you've ever wanted to take things a step further, adding custom interactivity, automations, or integrations, JavaScript gives you that power. So what is it? Custom JavaScript lets you interact with your app's data, interface dynamically. You can add behavior that reacts to user actions, change what displays on a page, connect to other tools real time. So perfect reasons for when you might want to use JavaScript is to personalize your app experience for logged in users, adding dynamic UI enhancements like custom buttons or messages, connecting to external APIs to fetch and send data. So think of it as a bridge between no code and pro code, giving you creative control without ever really leaving Knack. So where can you find these settings in the builder? You're going to head to the settings option. You're going to head to API and code, and you'll see two tabs there, JavaScript and CSS. You'll click on that JavaScript tab, and you can paste your scripts directly here or link to external libraries if you're using one. So take a look and you'll find your settings there. All right, let's get into some demos. Let me show you our first example, which is bulk actions on a table. So one of our most common requests we get is, how can I update multiple records at once? So in my project management app, I want to add bulk update functionality that lets users select multiple tasks and change their status all at once. This would save, of course, tons of time compared to editing each task individually. So what am I going to do? I'm going to head over to the builder and I'm going to add my JavaScript and save. If you are not a coder and not familiar with code or not working with a developer, we do have resources available. You can reach out to one of our Knack experts or reach out to the Knack community with your custom code questions. So here I have dropped in my JavaScript. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And we're going to go back to this page here and we're going to hit refresh. So let's take a look at what our JavaScript is going to allow us to do. So now you're seeing I've got checkboxes here and I've got this bulk update status that's here. Let's say I want to update these two that are saying to do to maybe they are in progress now. So I'm going to click my update. I'm going to select in progress and I'm going to click update. We're going to get a confirmation here and my page is going to refresh. And you will see that those two that were assigned to Ray have been updated to in progress. So you can see how nicely JavaScript can be incorporated into your application to make updates and do some bulk updates within your Knack application. Okay, I'm going to dive into another example here, which is completely different use case. I'm switching to an event management app. So one challenge I've seen event organizers face is preventing people from registering when an event is already at capacity. So let's look at two different events in my application. So let me pull that up here quickly. All right, so we've got another app here, and we've got our annual charity gala that has 10 remaining spots. And then we've also got on this event page, if we head over here to the event page, we can click on this register link and we can confirm our registration process. So everything's working well there. We also see that we have another event here, which is our creative writing workshop. So if I click into this one here, you can see our capacity is 3. We're at capacity. We have all the people that we want registered for this. But if I come into here, I could still potentially register for this event. So we can add some JavaScript to our app to make sure that our users are unable to register once we've hit capacity. So again, I'm going to jump over into my code editor here. I'm going to add in my JavaScript and I'm going to hit save. And we're going to come back over here to our event management system and we're going to hit refresh so we can see those changes in action. All right, so now we've got our event here that we've got still some spots available. If I jump into here, you'll see we've got 10 spots remaining. I get this nice little message here, and then I can click register and then confirm my registration for this event, like so. So now we're registered for the annual charity gala. You can see that information down here. So I'm going to jump back in here, and we've got now our event that is completely at capacity. So when I hit that link there, you can now see that this event is full and the registration is closed. So again, a nice little message there. My button goes away that allows users to register. If I hit the back button, let's see one where we've got at least one person registered, what that message is. And then we have 4 spots remaining registered now before the event fills up. So again, another great way to leverage JavaScript to do some additional things within your application to alert your users, to remove functionality and things like that. All right, now let's switch gears to something a little more visual, pivot tables. Pivot tables allow you to summarize, group, and analyze your app data in real time, all without exporting to a spreadsheet. So pivot tables give you an instant way to count, sum, and group your records. And you can identify trends, measure performance, compare results right inside your app. So all the good stuff. So why would you use pivot tables? Usually when you are looking to see how many active projects your employees might have, or get a total number of completed versus open tasks, or which department or regions are performing the best. Pivot tables are really great for that. So where can you find pivot tables in your builder? You can find them from any page. If you head to a page, you'll see the element options, and it is an element that you will find right here. So let's actually build one together in our project management app, where we want to see how many tasks each employee is handling and how many are completed and what status they're in. So let's go ahead and select our pivot table. We're going to take our tasks and we're going to add that element. So immediately we're in the settings for our pivot table. So we can see those pivot table settings here on the right hand side. I'm going to choose my data display and I'm going to start filling out each piece here. So I'm going to set up my group, which is going to be, we're going to group by our employees. So that's going to be our assigned to field. We're also going to do some column grouping. So we're going to group by task status. So we're going to take our status field here. And then we're also going to figure out what our calculation values are. So we want to get a count of tasks. So I'm going to basically choose my total record count here. And that will give me that count of tasks. So once that's in place, I can go ahead and save my changes. And we'll see an update here in our visual builder here with our different employees and the different task statuses that the tasks that they are working on or have been assigned to are in. So let's actually take a look at this in the live app. We're going to jump to our pivot tables page and you'll see that pivot table here. So that's it. It's pretty straightforward. Pivot tables are available in both classic and next gen. Be sure to check the compatibility guide and our documentation for any differences in layout and setup. It's one of those tools that starts simple but quickly becomes a powerhouse for data visualization. So that wraps up my section of custom JavaScript and pivot tables. I'm going to hand things over to John. He'll share updates on flows for HIPAA and the latest improvements to the AI builder. All right.
Hey everybody, how's it going? John Karras here from Knack. Today I'll be taking you through a quick update on flows, and now that it's accessible for our HIPAA customers. And then I will be jumping into one of the most exciting things we've launched in a while, our AI Builder experience. We'll give you guys a quick teaser here in our special session today before we launch it broader. So we've had flows available for our existing customers since early this year. It is now officially available to our HIPAA customers. You have the full suite of connectors available to you. So 500 plus connectors available on there. And a couple things to note here as you're using it. All your flows that use the Knack connector with the triggers and actions there and also the tools, those are going to be operating completely within your HIPAA region. Now, if you are connecting to other systems, other third-party tools, you can see some examples here on our screen. Those may require separate HIPAA, legal or compliance agreements. So be sure to check with your legal team or security team as you start using Knack flows and getting ingrained in your Knack apps. But very exciting. Flow is now accessible to all of our HIPAA customers, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Okay, let's jump into something I'm really excited about. We've been working very hard on this behind the scenes here to help all of our customers, new users, existing users, be able to chat to edit your app. The main thing that we've really wanted to do is bring down that barrier for new people, and also give a lot of our power users the capabilities and functionality that they want to do without having to manually go do those updates. Let's have AI be able to go do some of those updates and changes and additions or deletions to your app. So we have a new tab that we're calling AI Builder that will let you chat in it to make updates. On the right side, you're going to have a preview, really a live app instance, and you can interact with it right there. And on that left side, you can see you'll have your chat pane. So far today, it's going to be able to build tables, fields, connections, pages, elements, change your layouts, update themes, work through a lot of different pieces of your Knack app. I'll get into more details a little bit later about what it can and can't do as of today. And one other thing to note is this is available for new apps only for now. As we're very early on in this, we want to make sure that it's built and operating the exact way that our customers want. So we have it only on for net new apps. Now you can install a new template. You can create a net new AI app. You can copy one of your existing apps and start making changes. But we wanted to make sure that it's only available for new apps once we have this feature on for you. And on that note, hopefully everybody is enjoying on your Pro and above plans the ability to have unlimited apps, unlimited shared builders now, the flows, transactions that everybody got increases on. So hopefully folks are going to be able to test out and see some of these new experiences and features that we've been building in your account. Okay, cool. Now, enough talking. Let's go ahead and jump into the actual demo. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with a property management use case. And we'll say we want to track tenants, lease starts, rent, payment, contact info, set reminders, track payments. Also want to have a picture of each unit so it can be viewed publicly. So I'll go ahead and create this. Now, this experience that you're seeing here is something that a lot of our users are already intimately familiar with. They've been creating these AI apps before. And now when you have this AI Builder feature on, it is going to land you in a new spot. Okay, so now you can see that it finished generating and it lands you in our AI Builder tab here. Now I can see my prompt that I submitted right here, and I also get a summary of what's inside. Over the last few weeks, we've actually made substantial improvements to this initial AI app generation. You now have more rich charts that can get created here. So you'll see calendar elements, rich charts. You'll have other elements that can get created, calendar elements. You'll have a search element. You can have map elements, and AI is thinking behind the scenes and saying, hey, does it make sense to put a map element on here or not? We do a lot of training and prompting and giving AI proper directions, but we're trying to give functionality here to you guys based off of that prompt. You'll also see image generation. So I can see here I'm on the units table. If I go over to my units top level page here, you can see it's kind of tough and hit or miss with some of the images that get generated. But you can see most of them here. Great, I have a unit 105, unit 103, unit number here. So we're also generating images now for you guys and putting those in as sample records. You've got list elements here as well, full functionality of view, edit, delete, and a lot of other experiences that hopefully our users are enjoying. So this is something that you've all been able to do so far, but really the secret sauce and really the next level of functionality that we have at Knack is now what we can do on the side here. So that's great. I'm going to go ahead and put in a pre-canned prompt just so you guys don't have to see me type. I can say something like, teach me more about my app structure, just to get a feel for what I have going on here. You'll see that the AI is thinking, and it's going to be telling you what it's doing as well as it's processing and going through. So right now here we're saying, okay, it's going to analyze our app. You can see in real time what things is checking out, some of our different tools that we're calling behind the scenes here, checking our pages. This slider bar is, you can move that there. You can also collapse this if you want. And there's also a home screen that you can go to if you want to start a new chat and keep going. So let's see what our AI does here as it pulls up information about your tables, your pages, and tries to give you a quick summary. As we also now have, you probably saw it, but we have logos getting generated even on that initial app. You've got a little bit cleaner understanding of the app title as well. Okay, cool. So it's telling me what's been built so far. It's giving me quick summaries and rundowns here about what relationships exist, some key features that are here. So this is a great way maybe for new people as well to get familiar with apps that already exist in your account. So I can come in here and also see in real time, what are the areas that it worked through. And you can come in here and see, hey, how many credits did this use, which is a new term and new aspect that we'll be working through. We are very early on in our credit counting and entitlement and pricing on that, so that is all very much subject to change. But we're trying to give as much visibility as possible to our users about, hey, how many credits are being consumed on given actions. Okay, so you can see here some next steps. And I'm going to go ahead and say something. Maybe I want to add a maintenance cost report to the maintenance records page. So let's come over here. We'll see here that I have a relatively simple page right here. Let's see if we can add a bit more functionality here. All right, let's see what it creates and see if we can actually understand what we want to get done. Great, so it's going to be checking out our page structure. It tells you a little bit what it's thinking as it's going about doing it. Finding some more details. You can see here in real time what it's working through, and it will give you a plan. It is going to add a maintenance cost report per unit. So it will be a chart. Let's see if we got that added successfully. Awesome. So we can see here a maintenance cost per unit. Great. All included, all pretty quick with a data table below. And yeah, that looks great. You can pop over the details and see how it worked here too. Okay, awesome. Now, this is a pretty blue tone that we have right now. Let's see if we can go ahead and change that. Let's change that now to be green tones and see if it can make those updates for us. Now, as I look back, the first action that we did, scanning the app, giving a quick summary, was about 5.5 credits. As you come in here, you can see that this one was only about 0.87 credits. Okay. So let's see now about our app theme and changing the color here for us to be more of a green feel and look and feel. Great. It's recognizing and checking our themes area out, changing some of the background colors and trying again. Looks like it's finished. You can see it update in real time here. And great. It's got more of a green theme, green buttons, green backgrounds, and it looks like that works pretty great. Okay. Now I'm going to do a little bit of something different. I'm not going to specifically ask it for something to change. Maybe I want to have it more as a thought partner for me. Maybe I want to say, what other tables could I add to my app to get more granular tracking of my operations in my property management business? Let's go ahead and see, what our AI assistant here thinks. All right, it's got high impact tables to add. Yep, that makes sense. Property operations tables. Yep, advanced analytics. We could add some of those. A lot of great options here. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and say, let's add an expenses table. Let's add an expenses table and make sure it has sample data and is connected to the appropriate other tables. Now, as AI thinks through it, it's going to add that, and then we'll be able to find that and check it out and see it in our tables area. A couple other things to note. As we said, we're still very early on in this. We're focusing a lot on the live app presentation here. We are working on ways and solutions to be able to more seamlessly get your data area visualized and have that AI chat experience in your data area, or be able to quickly flip over to your page editing experience. So hopefully that this experience here that we're walking through is a good start, and you guys can keep giving us feedback about how you want it to evolve in your app building journeys. All right, so it looks like it's planning and thinking still. Great. It's going to add those connections. And we should see some updates here when it completes. It's connecting over to maintenance records. Sense. And now it's going to put in sample data. Keep going here. Other functionality too that we have, you can also ask AI to swap the theme and have it be a vertical nav layout. I'm happy to do that next time, but you can say, hey, I don't want to have a horizontal navigation, move it to be a vertical navigation. Okay, awesome. It's going to create an expense page here too. Great. Which will let us actually see and visualize and interact with those expenses in our live app. Still building. Adding a menu with the navigation options. Okay, great. Okay, so it finished. I'd paused it there. It took about maybe 2 to 3 minutes to get all that information in there. You can see here that it says it's built an expenses table with a set of different fields, about 7, 8 fields, 8 sample records, connections, and also pages. So let's go ahead and see it. Great. We can actually see that expenses tab right over here. If I click on that, I can see a full set of, my table element, a button to add new expenses, which takes me to here. Looks like we'll have to do some tweaking on that. You can view your records over here and see your information. So yeah, pretty great start here to help you guys as you're building and adding that new stuff to your apps. Hopefully this has been exciting to see the AI app builder experience. This is kind of your landing page. You can start new chats. You can go into your existing ones. And one more thing before we move on, I just want to give you a quick breakdown of some of the functionality that we currently have supported versus what's not supported yet. And more importantly, the help doc that we have where we list out everything, and we're going to keep this up to date. Some of the main things that we, again, fully support: backend, tables, fields, relationships, sample data, pages, getting all those created, user roles, connections, renaming your apps, changing your navigations and themes. Some of the things we're not supporting yet, probably the most important one is getting login and protected pages set up. That's on our list very quickly. Also flows. We are working on getting flows weaved in and how we can have our customers chat to build and edit a flow. And we'll also be able to have more deletion functionality. Right now, we're being relatively conservative and not having AI delete data from your apps, but in the future, we will definitely want to let you do that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and now we'll be moving into our Q&A. Thanks.